Let's Be Honest podcast. Lawyer speak about Ivany fate and what will likely happen when she is released. Lawyer also spoke about why Buju Banton got his visa back instead of Bunty or Beanie. Listen to this, it's a must listen. And for people who are undocumented, are willing to take a chance in the United States, which state you should go, there's a lot you can learn. Listen to this.
Boom, Let's Be Honest podcast, maddest podcast, baddest podcast, never the saddest podcast. And today, not a new face to the show.
Yeah.
Not a new face to the show. He might do crazy things. The one immigration lawyer where we got to, and you supposed to go to.
Yeah.
Got to. Sekou Clark, what going?
There, man. Appreciate it for having me over again, man.
Naturally.
Much respect, man.
Naturally.
Yeah.
You know, enough local immigration things are going on. We have to talk about the Buju case.
Yes.
First
yes,
and
the
foremost.
hottest thing right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, like for the people them where get deported, is there hope for them? Is there a redemption story for them to get back in the United States like a Buju Banton?
As any lawyer would say, it depends.
Mm-hmm.
It depends. Like, honestly, if we keep it 100, if you have CMR similar charges as Buju, I would let it go. Unless you have a Grammy.
So yeah, you mentioned that in the last episode, although they get a phone call.
Yeah.
What about the Grammy? Because we know even, we know people who are Grammy nominated who don't even have the privilege of getting a work visa.
True.
Like, let's say a Beanie Man, Bounty Killer has been Grammy nominated as well. You know, there's probably more, I'm not click off at the top of my head. But then we'll see a man like Sizzler get back him thing too.
Yeah.
So, what are specifics with them look for with the Grammy thing?
All right, so like when somebody wins a Grammy, it's the same thing as somebody winning an Olympic gold medal. It's the same as somebody winning an NBA title or something like that. It shows U.S. immigration that you are elite. You are the 1% in your field, and those are the type of people that they want in the U.S. So when you have a person like that now, they weigh, all right, the benefits that this person is going to bring to the U.S. versus looking at their history and their background, which may not be as credible. But is the person violent? So they wait. Are you going to have an impact into the U.S. versus your criminal history, your criminal background? So they wait on a scale, and typically a person with a Grammy or a high achieving person, they will get the nod.
Okay.
Yeah. But as I said to you over the phone, I said there are 3 different ways that he could have been let back into the country.
So what are other 2?
So the first way I said, which is the typical way that we do, it's called a non-immigrant visa waiver, right? So that means you lost the visa, and the waiver is basically you're asking the U.S. government for forgiveness to get back into the country. You have rehabilitated your character, etc., etc. The second one, which is a pardon, you can get some type of governmental pardon by a president or a high-ranking U.S. official.
But that would be public?
Possibly. And last but not least, and I said this on my channel, you know, it may be an unpopular road, but it's very, very viable, and it's called an S visa.
What's that?
So an S visa is designated for individuals who have been the witness to a crime, or they are helping the U.S. government to prosecute somebody for a crime.
Okay. And then for the people them over there who them probably around some time get sentenced, right? And then both get released, but to realize that them don't touch back down in Jamaica. What's the only way them could have be over there?
So you're saying if somebody who's serving time,
their visa are green card, not a citizen.
Okay.
And then
are they
them
other
don't
status?
Yes.
Okay, so them not status. All right, and they want it.
Well, no, them have status.
Okay.
Let's say them have status. Let's do both scenarios. Them have status and them don't have status. And they're not deported. Why aren't they deported?
Honestly, a lot of times it is the luck of the draw. It's the luck of the state, the county, and the particular facility that you got arrested. Because I've seen people, like I've had clients in Orange County in Florida who I've gotten off of gun charges, I've gotten off of possession charges, right? But then they're in Alabama and they get deported for domestic violence charge that has been dropped. They have been deported for driving without a driver's license. So it really just depends on the luck of the draw a lot of times, and the judge that you have, and again, the county and the facility that you're at.
Okay.
So it's really not that level. It's really not that level. I mean, I've had clients who rightfully should have been deported, but they were in the right place with the right judge and, of course, the right line.
No, this is popular case. Honestly, I don't want to talk about it because it's a very viral person.
Okay.
It's a young lady. I think, don't quote me upon this people, I think she crossed the border illegally.
Okay.
Isn't without inspection. But I think she married to her baby father, who's a US citizen, and she have a kid who is a US citizen as well. But then there was like some domestic violence between the both of them. I think she is the aggressor in the case. She got locked up, and she has a big TikTok audience. And when the TikTok people them called to try to bond her out, they were like, you can bond her out, but I wouldn't bond her out because ICE is going to pick her up. We haven't heard from her since then.
Okay.
And I think I don't want to tell you which county, but I know it's Georgia.
Okay.
What her case look like? What she needs to do for? Is it that the fact that she have a child in the States make her case any bit stronger?
So it just depends what has been filed, right? So if we're going based off of the facts that you share, right? So boom, if she did cross the border and she has an illegal entry and then she did get married to a US citizen, that means even though she got married to a US citizen, she still couldn't adjust her status because she has an illegal entry.
All right, but I suppose it's a case of asylum.
Well, if it is asylum, well then she has a viable relief that they can't deport her for. But there's also something called VAWA, right? So
with the Violence Against
Women Act. So I mean, we don't know if she filed that, because if she filed that, it would waive her illegal entry, right? And it would give her a basis to be in the US and even later on file for a green card. But if she now has a domestic violence case where she is the aggressor, a lot of times the immigration court, them going to wait to see what the criminal state court will do. So if the case is pending, they might just hold her, and it may be a good tactic to not bond her out yet, because then, ICE may get her if she does not have a status.
Okay.
Yeah. So it just really depends on what her immigration attorney is doing. Because I mean, I've had people before where the person is in custody and they have a pending criminal charge and the family wants to bond them out. And I was like, hold off on the bond, right? Don't bond them out yet. Let us resolve the criminal issue first. So we know if the case is going to be a misdemeanor, a felony, is it going to be dismissed? Because if it's a felony, then boom, it's automatic ICE. But if we can get it dropped to like a misdemeanor or get it dismissed, then we have a better probability to have them walk out instead of ICE come and grab them.
If you're an illegal immigrant,
yes,
educate the people them with certain cities that they would want to be in and certain cities that they should avoid. Because this from where I tell me, right? So the city, the state, the county, all of that
100%.
matters. So give me some place where you can say it's more undocumented friendly.
All right, definitely New York. New York. New York is one of the very few states where even if you're undocumented, you can still get a driver's license and have a form of ID. In Florida right now, since Governor Ron DeSantis changed the laws, you cannot get an ID or a driver's license if you are undocumented. So Florida, no, under this regime, is not the best place. New York, 100%. California, 100%. And the further Midwest you go, because it's not heavily immigrant populated like Colorado as well.
Illinois.
And Illinois, they are more favorable. But the more red the state,
it should be like the southern states.
Yes. Yeah. It's way more tighter where immigration is concerned and not as favorable.
And then this is an election here in the States.
Big, yeah.
How does that affect immigration? Because I'm hearing that marriage-based green cards are going to quicker than normal.
Definitely.
These days.
Definitely.
But why is that, and what we can look for certain changes or certain bills?
So I just saw candidate Trump released his first statement to Time magazine that his first order of business, if he's elected, is to remove 11 million immigrants from the states. First order, not anything with taxes, not anything with
crime
or anything. His first order of business, he said, is removing 11 million undocumented people. And I believe him, because what he did during COVID, I mean, he was trying to remove birthright citizenship. He was trying to remove U.S. citizen children from petitioning from their parents and using COVID as a tool to do that. So I 100% believe him. So with an upcoming election, I've seen we would file for naturalization for people to get the citizenship, and boom, 2-3 months. Where it normally take 6, 7, 8 months. Green cards, it's a little bit faster depending on the jurisdiction. So they want as much people here as possible who can influence a swing, right? Influence a swing depending on the state. So it would be more favorable for the Biden administration to get more people naturalized, to get their family members here, to have a bigger support system, because Biden leans more to immigration. So the more favorable it is the more votes that he can get. So I've been telling people every consultation I do, I say, hey, it's an election year, so sort out yourself. Make sure you do it before November or before January, the inauguration.
Leave a comment, tell me what you think. Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
Kevin Bass, I'm out.